Hey guys, and welcome back to episode number 3 of the Sokool Brothers Racing Podcast. I'm Justice Sokool Racing, or the Lawman.
And I'm Colby Sokool Racing, or Little Smoke.
Colby, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Been doing good. You know, we just have had one race since our last podcast, and just been hanging out and doing other stuff like that.
Yeah, just getting through school and almost done here. Not that much longer to go, I don't feel like.
Yeah, I know you're a senior. You're almost done with all your high school, almost all your schooling, basically.
Yeah.
So what are your plans after high school?
Just go racing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
you gonna move anywhere?
I don't know. I don't know. I want to go out to Indiana, but we're going to go out there for the summer. So,
Yeah.
I don't. Still undecided, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yep. So our last race, we went to Dodge City for a Now 600 race. It's the first time we ever been there. And it went pretty well for me, I would say. It didn't go bad for you, Justice.
It wasn't bad at all. You know, you came off the weekend with 2 wins.
Yep. We needed to get some. That's first, like I said, first time we ever ran there, so we needed to get some practice in before. Or I say practice, but race weekend there before the KKM come up here in a couple weeks down back there at Dodge City. But it was pretty cool. We got there and it was hot and sunny outside, a little windy, a little breezy there on Friday, and then just going out there on the racetrack. We're just, what'd you think of it when you first saw it?
When we first got there and we first saw the track, it was definitely something different. You know, it was a track that I really couldn't be like, oh yeah, you know, that track looks like this other track, but it looked like it had longer straightaways and some paperclip kind of corners, which after racing on it, it did feel like it did. But
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on the track?
I don't know. I thought it was just looking at it and seeing. I think it raced a lot better than I thought it was for sure going to. And I think especially the last night I'd say there's 2 lanes. The first night there was kind of 2 lanes there, like especially in the non-wing feature. Well, I mean kinda, because it started like we went out for practice and I didn't feel like we were very good like all night, like in anything, both of us. And then it took a while to figure out and just a lot of brainstorming and stuff. And then so the track was real tacky, you know, real gripped up. And then I feel like there was that big hole through 1 and 2 for the most time. I ended up having to run a B feature that night, and they like graded the whole racetrack before that, and then it smoothed out. And it was pretty good for the features, but it was definitely pretty interesting. And I don't know, I actually kind of liked that track. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that track too. It definitely had some character, and I feel like they worked on it enough to where it changed a lot throughout the night and like made it more racier, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, you had that B main, and right before that, they graded the track and smoothed it out a little bit, and it definitely made the track better, I thought.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so on the first night, we ran stock non-wing winged A class, now 600 race, and so in my stock non-wing, I qualified second out of 9 cars in my group. I went 3-2 in the heat race, and then the feature, I started third. Was running second like the whole race, and then got to leader there with like a couple laps to go. Was just trying a bunch of different things in 3 and 4, and I finally found something. And then we got him coming across. I think actually got him going in 1 and 2. We were kind of side by side through that whole corner and ended up coming out with the win in that one. So it wasn't too bad. Kind of had to work at it. And then in the wing day class, I didn't feel like we were very good all night. Like I qualified dead last out of 7 cars in my group. In the heat, I went 7-5. And then the B feature started 6th, finished 3rd, so it wasn't bad. And then in the A feature, I started 17th, and then on the opening 7 laps, something like that, maybe I got up to 7th, and then just caught a guy's left rear coming out of the corner, and it shot me up, and then it landed down at DB to the left front. So that was the end of our night. In that one, so overall, I don't know. Overall, wasn't that bad. I feel like especially in the non-wing, I think we definitely finished the night a lot better than how we started, because like I said earlier, I didn't feel like we started the night very, very strong, and we were fighting for speed everywhere, so we were just kind of just moving around and ended up working out. So how about you, Justice?
The start of the night, obviously, like Colby said, we struggled a little bit just trying to find our kind of baseline, or getting to the baseline for where we needed to be on the track. I ended up going 5th quick in qualifying hot laps for non-wing. And then that put me starting 10th I started 5th in the heat race, finished 4th, so went forward a spot. So I ended up starting P10 in the feature, and you know, you can move around on the track a little bit. Honestly, you know, you could get the top working in 1 and 2, and then
For sure in that non-wing feature on Friday, yeah.
And then in 3 and 4, I don't know what you found, but I tried it and I couldn't even get close to what you were doing. But it was like you drive it in there like really high, and then somehow the car would like park and just come right down the track, right through the grip, and
Yeah, like it. Well,
you're making good straightaway speed.
earlier in the race, like I would like because I think everybody's on the bottom. I think we were on the bottom most of the time. I think.
I don't think I left left the top once that race. I just stayed
And on the
in
top
one
and
and
three,
two, in one and
well,
two.
yeah, 1 and 2 everybody was kind of on the top, but
And then three and-
I'm talking about 3 and 4.
Oh, I was like in the middle, kind of right there.
So yeah, I think everybody was mostly on the bottom in 3 and 4. At least the leader was, and like I could go in high, and there was a little patch moisture I could fit my right rear in, and a couple times would be good. Then I feel like the bottom started to slick off more, and I started to catch the guy, and then I kind of stalled out again. And then one time I went up into the top on 1 and 2, and honestly, it was kind of a like I had been thinking about like kind of going up high and then turn all the way down low, but I never did it. And then one time I went up there, and they kind of have like a ledge or like a berm the whole like I think all the way around the racetrack, but. And I kind of caught that, and it like slowed me up. So then I turned the car down, and it worked really well. And I was like, okay. So I did it again next time, and it ended up working out really well. But what about you in the wing, Justice?
Or in the non-wing feature.
Oh yeah.
I started 10th, and then I was just moving around trying to find some speed, and we found some speed and went 10-4. So we made our way up there. We had some good speed there at the end. Just didn't start the night as well as we should have. And then in winged, we went third quick in our group, started second in the heat race, ended up second. And then in the feature, we started 8th, and then it was just like one of those deals again. It was like the top in 1 and 2, and then I kind of was like running the middle down there in 3 and 4, and like I could like kind of get my right rear right in the sledge and like roll around it, but then like sometimes I'd mess up, but then like I could catch the left rear and it would kind of like drive the car around the corner. But
yeah,
I don't know. It was a fun track, and I feel like you could move around enough to make the track work to get through the field.
yeah. Well, then on Saturday, I think we came back because I still felt like even after Friday night, like after I won the non-ring, I still felt like we could have been better. So we came back, and then I think we both changed, like went a complete different way on both of our cars from the night before, from each other. And it was real windy there on Saturday. Holy crap! So then I think the track it started off a lot drier. I think because of the wind. It was super hot. It got up to like 90 or something like that.
Yeah, it was really hot.
It got
really
real
windy.
hot, and then so I don't know. We started off the night like I said. The track was drier for sure than the night before. Because the night before we went out there for hot laps like in winged, and holy crap, we were so tight. But the second night in stock non-wing, I qualified second out of 10 in my group. I went 3-1 the heat race, and then the feature I started second, and got the lead on I believe it was the first lap or something like that, and then just stayed out front. And so that ended up capping out for weekend. Swept the features and non-wing that weekend, so that was good. And then the winged qualified 4th out of 10 in my group, went 1-2 in the heat race. So in the wing, we still weren't very good. Then the feature, I started 10th. And finished 5th, and everybody was just like running the top in 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 everybody's on the bottom. So it's kind of hard to make a pass. I feel like, and like you could slide people 1 and 2, but you'd lose so much momentum after you would slide them because there was nothing really to catch you on exit, and it just felt like a fast slider, but by the time you got to like you slid the guy and you're on the exit of the corner, there's no momentum. Like you felt like you had kept your momentum up there, and then you could get people if they washed up out of 3 and 4. But ended up coming out 5th, so not too bad. But I still feel like we could have. I don't know. There's a couple things I think we maybe should have done different to our wing cars that we didn't do. But I feel like especially my non-wing car with the 2 different ways I feel like we ran it, I didn't feel like it was too bad,
Yeah. Like you said earlier, we went into the second night. We were just like, well, we have 2 days here, so let's just try something. See if we could find something just to better our notebook for the KKM when we come back. And, I threw a setup on the car, and, I was expecting the track to be really hooked up at the beginning like it was on the first night. But like you said, with the wind and the heat and everything, it definitely started off a lot slicker than expected.
Yeah, for sure.
So I wasn't as tight as I needed to be to start off the night. So in non-wing, I ended up going 4th quick in the hot laps. So I started on the pole of the heat race, and I went 1-1, so I won it. But the car wasn't really that good. We were just kind of hanging on, and I was just really hoping that I could just run a line where I could break the momentum of the guys if they tried to go around me. on the top, and then I was just kind of like hugging the bottom where they couldn't get a run underneath me. So it's kind of like one of those protective deals in a way. So we had that heat race, and then we changed the setup on the car again, and we went out for the winged heat race, and I qualified fifth in my group, so I started fifth in the heat race. And
How'd you do in the non-wing feature?
Oh, in the non-wing feature, I started fifth, and on the first lap coming into the first we crossed the start finish line, I think. I can't remember. And then coming down into one, I was underneath the driver, and then just a racing deal, got into each other, and he kind of was hugging the lane, and I was just going for it. There was a hole there, and then just came down and got into the side of me, which then ended up spinning me around and tipping me over. So I had to go all the way to the back, and then from there on out, I just kind of put it on the top and never left that. Just was driving around people, and then when they would be in front of me on the top, I'd run down to the bottom and hug the bottom and make up a bunch of spots. But I ended up coming from the back to sixth, and that's where I ended up in the feature. But definitely feel like we got the car better throughout the night.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely learned, or at least I feel like I learned where I like the car to be at. Where what bars and springs and stuff like that, what I felt most comfortable with throughout the night. And we made the car better. And then in the winged, we qualified fifth, and qualifying car wasn't good. Made a setup change. Then we went 5-3 in the heat race, which was all right. There was actually a lot of passing in the heat races, so I ended up starting 11th. And then in the feature, I was just kind of hanging around. I didn't get the car tight enough for the feature. We were just kind of loose. So we went from 11th to 6th, and but yeah, like I said, we got a good notebook, and we have a place to come back.
Yeah, I feel like we made a lot. Like just you said right there, you changed your setup 4 different times in the night. So I still feel like even going into the next time we come to Dodge City, I still feel like I think our non-wing stuff wasn't too bad. If we went their back wing again, I think we definitely need to change something a little bit more, because our non-wing wasn't too bad, but our wing, it was just like I don't know, you could always be better, and I didn't feel like we were terrible, but I still feel like there's something we're missing for that.
There's room for improvement.
And then, so in the non-wing, but I'm excited to go back. Though I think the track's gonna be way different. Keith was at the last one, but I feel like just the way they're gonna work, it's gonna be different. The way it's raced is gonna be different, and I don't know. I think we said this while we were there too, but it just felt like we were racing on that track. It just felt like it took like every lap was so long. It didn't feel like we actually had a lot of speed there, and I think that's why the momentum was so important. On those sliders, that they would kill you so bad after you slid somebody, they could cross you right back over immediately, almost, because I didn't feel like there was a lot of you needed a lot of momentum in a way, and I don't know, it's just how it felt like. So I don't know, it wasn't a bad weekend for us. That actually was a pretty good weekend for us. I won 2 races, and cars came back in all pieces, not a bunch of bent up parts or anything like that. So it was a good weekend, and I actually enjoyed racing there. It was close to home. Some of our grandparents came out, and some of our families, so that was good to see them, and it was good to I don't know, it actually wasn't a bad weekend. I still feel like you always said, there's room for improvement, but it was good.
Yeah, they have a really nice facility there.
Yeah, the facility is really nice.
Yeah, it's really nice there.
I was telling Dad, but we parked, which I think I told you too, but we parked on concrete all year long, because we went to Texas. The pits are concrete there. Port City, we parked on the concrete pad, so it's not really on concrete, I feel like. And then we went to California with that, because you pretty much park in the street. I feel like that was on concrete kind of, and then this one. So it's just, we're kind of getting spoiled a little bit. We really haven't got our jeans super dirty or anything like that working on the race cars in the day, which is nice, because I feel like it's a lot nicer working on the concrete than it is in the dirt.
Yeah. I like the paved pits. Those are nice to be in, but I don't know. There's just something about being on the dirt versus the pavement in the pits. I don't know. I don't even know really what it is, but
well, our next race, we got 2 races coming up. They're back-to-back weekends, next weekend and the weekend after. And they're both KKM races. These are because we went to KKM in March, but it wasn't points. These ones are points. We're going to Macon Speedway in Illinois next weekend. That's the 8th, 9th, and 10th. Then the weekend after that is back at Dodge City in Kansas. That's the 15th, 16th, and 17th. We've never been to Macon before, so I'm excited to go there. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I know Russ and Adam have been there. I know they've been there. So they have some ideas of stuff that we can do to the cars to start off with, and but I'm excited. I want to see what we do. It's a new track. I always love going to a new track.
Yep.
But yeah, Colby, what are your goals going into this?
Well, I obviously want to make the feature both nights, and I don't know, I haven't been there before. I just, want to have a clean race, do good, but I don't know, I did it a couple years ago, and I haven't done it this year so far, but I don't know, you really kind of caught me up guard with that. I haven't thought about that yet, but I feel like a goal every race I go to, and don't always accomplish it, is I always like locking in from a prelim night, finishing up front, and locking in. I feel like it's definitely going to be harder this year because now everybody's running on the, Friday, Saturday, and it's just top six lock in, every night. So I feel like it's definitely going to be a lot harder, but that's always a goal of mine when I go to the race there. And then I want to finish in the top 3 or top 5 in one of these big races. I want to finish the whole thing. At California we started deep, and then I think I finished like 6th or 7th or something like that. And I feel like we're close there, and I just need to run a good race, all night, and put it all together. And I know I can do it. I just got to put it all together. So I guess that'd be my goal. Top 5 in the feature on Saturday, and I want to lock in on Friday.
Yeah, those are good goals. That's always one of my goals to go into these races is, obviously to lock in on the prelim night, and then set myself up starting good for Saturday, so then on Saturday, I don't have the work cut out trying to run through the show again, where you're in the feature, you run for your starting spot, and that's about it. So that's one of my main goals is obviously lock in, and then I'd have to say from there just run a clean feature and try and finish up as forward as I can.
Yeah, so 2 stock non-wing big races coming up. I'm excited. We actually got prom this weekend again. Well, I have prom again, but senior prom for me, junior prom for you. And in the midst of that, we got to get our cars done. We, for some reason, procrastinate more than we should. But I don't feel like we have a lot of work to do, just maintenance. And but I know I'm excited. We got a lot of fun next month, I would say. We got prom, 2 races, and then for me, it's graduation stuff. And then we really kick off our summer just racing all the time. So I'm really excited for that. And I don't know. So we'll have one out. We'll have another podcast out to you guys the week we get back from Dodge City to update you guys how these 2 races went. But I don't know. Our month of April was we didn't really race a lot, but I feel like it, for me at least, felt like it went really well. I got picked up 2 wins, first 2 wins on the season. So just keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, we'll keep the ball rolling. Hopefully park me in victory lane a couple times. And with that, do you have anything else?
I don't believe so. And if you guys have anything, we say it in every video. If you guys have anything you guys want us to talk about, go over topics or anything like that, just comment in the comment section down below. Make sure to share this, like it, and let's get it out there. So I don't know. You got anything, Justice?
I don't believe so.
Well, thank you guys very much for watching another episode of the Sokool Brothers Racing Podcast. I'm Colby Sokool.
And I'm Justice Sokool, and this is Sokool Brothers Racing Podcast, episode number 3, presented by BigR. And we'll see you guys next time.
Yep, thank you very much.